Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FPL Meerkat and today I've got my Game Week 16 review and a quick preview of my Game Week 17 team as it's standing. I'm going to be taking a break from the Fantasy Premier League content, but I'm going to be making some World Cup content for you guys. So I just thought I'd get out this quick review of how my Game Week 16 went and what my team is looking like for Game Week 17. But to be honest, I'm not going to give much thought about it. So probably be a quicker video today, guys. So let's get straight into it. So I'm happy to say that Game Week 16 was a green arrow for me. Finally, after about 3 or 4 weeks of red arrows, I got a green arrow. And to be honest, I'm a bit annoyed it wasn't a bit higher of a green arrow. But the game week went very well for me all around, given how badly a lot of people have done this week. A lot of high scoring individual players. So unfortunately, if you didn't have those players, your game week score looks pretty rough. So it was a very fluctuating game week this week. It's never nice to end on a low score going into such a big break. But running through the team, Danny Ward getting 11 points. I was really thinking about transferring out Danny Ward for Alisson for just a little punt for the last game week. So very glad I didn't do that. Goodness me, was not expecting a 11 pointer from Ward there. Anderson getting 2 points. I've owned him 4 game weeks. 3 game weeks he's blanked. I've played him every time. The 1 week he returned, he was on my bench. So yeah, glad to be getting rid of him for Game Week 17. Cancelo getting 1 point. Once again, Man City conceding. Those people who sold Cancelo because they thought he wasn't playing, they were clearly ahead of the curb. We probably all should have sold Cancelo for this last fixture, given he only got 1 point. Trippier getting 7 points. Really nice returns from him again. He's unbelievable, isn't he? He's basically better than Haaland at this point, honestly, given how cheap he is. He's vital in everyone's team. I'm sorry, but if you don't own him, you definitely need to. Rashford there getting 2 points. Not a great performance from him. He had some good opportunities that I saw, but to be honest, it didn't really look like he was going to be getting many points. Salah, the captaincy, getting only 2 points, double to 4. Really frustrated at that one. Because, Haaland blanked and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm out of the clear here. I can really rise up the ranks if Salah gets returns, and he blanks. And to be honest, he didn't really look like getting many points anyway. He did have a couple good opportunities, but yeah, just really annoying that I can't quite nail down the right captain. De Bruyne getting 2 points, complete no-show from him, honestly. Didn't really look like getting points, and he was diving a lot as well, which is very unusual for De Bruyne. But yeah, I don't think he'll be in my team going forward. Martinelli getting 6 points, a great return from him again. A shot that was saved, turning into scoring the rebound, getting an FPL assist. Again, another player who I might consider getting rid of, but I have so much value tied up in him at the moment. He's currently still in my team because I haven't fully decided whether I want to get rid of him yet or not. He's really highly owned, but I just think there might be other options to go for. They're a little bit more exciting than Martinelli at the moment. Andreas getting 2 points. Again, didn't really look like getting many points. Honestly, my decision making this week was really painful, as you can probably see there, with Tony on the bench getting 13 points. Who on earth would have seen that coming against Man City? I will now say this is the 4th game week in a row that I've missed out on a haul with a player playing against Man City, whether that's transferring them out the previous week or benching them. It was, I think, in Game Week 13, I believe, I'm not 100% sure about the game weeks here, but I'm pretty sure Game Week 13, it was Trossard. Game Week 14 was Maddison. Game Week 15 was who scored against Andreas. He scored a penalty against Man City, and now it's Tony getting 2 goals against Man City. Actually, I believe that Maddison's might not have been against Man City, but I believe that I got rid of him and he returned. So yeah, 4 weeks in a row has something like that, and 3 of them at least have been because of Man City. I should just start playing my attackers against Man City, honestly. I just got scared about Andreas getting a penalty. Mitrovic wasn't playing. We got confirmation of that, so I thought, let's play him, see if he gets a penalty against Man United. But no, Tony doing absolute pits against Man City. Oh, goodness me, I could never get those decisions right. But Darwin getting 13 points. So happy that I finally got returns from him that I've owned since owning him. He got the 7-pointer the other week, but yeah, really glad he got that haul. He's a bit less of a differential than he was before, but really happy to have him, and he'll probably be staying in my team for quite a while now, because I think he's definitely becoming the player we all thought he was going to be at Liverpool, because he's found his best position. And my punt for the week was Jesus, only getting 2 points. He had a lot of shots in the Arsenal game, but just couldn't find the target. To be honest, that's what he's been doing all season, so I shouldn't really be surprised by that. It is frustrating to look at, though, because if I hadn't done the transfer and kept Mitrovic, you can see there, I would have got Tony off the bench. So once again, my transfer has actually backfired. I could have done pretty much anything else as long as it meant I played Tony. To be honest, I really wasn't planning on playing Tony against Man City, especially with Cancelo in the team. It's frustrating. It would have been the best option to do, but hey, this has been one weird season. And to be honest, I'm very glad that we're having a break, and I'm excited to make some fancy World Cup content. But yeah, and also Dalot there on the bench being suspended. Ray only getting 3 points, made the right choice finally on the goalkeepers, landing it right there. But yeah, let's have a look at how my team is currently looking for Game Week 17. So for Game Week 17, this is how my team is currently looking. This is after some tampering with through free transfers. I have been made aware, though, that if you are level on points come the end of the season with another manager, the way they dictate your final rank is to do with the amount of total transfers you've made. So if you've got the same, if two players end on 2,000 points, whoever's made the least transfers will actually be positioned above them. They'll still have the same rank, but they'll be positioned. They'll be at the top of that. So you kind of want to hold off from making as many transfers as you want to on your wild card. Only really just to get an idea. There's websites out there you can do it without actually doing it on FPL. I was only made aware of that after I'd done all of this, so I have taken a fair few transfers to leave my team looking like this. And to be honest, this is probably quite close to how I'd like to leave it. Keeping Rashford at the moment and Dalot, the two Man United players, for that Nottingham Forest at home fixture. Man United have got very good fixtures after the break. I don't think many of their players will be spending a long time throughout the duration of the World Cup. They might have one or two here and there, but I think they'll be close to full strength come the restart of the season. I've currently got Rashford in there. I would kind of like to get a Man United attacker, but it's mainly the defence I want to focus on. Dalot is definitely staying in my team, as well as Trippier. Should go without saying how incredible he is. There's no way he's leaving my team. He gets so many points. Newcastle defence always looks great. Yeah, he's definitely staying. Cancelo is a high maybe at the moment. I'm not too sure how confident I feel about Man City's clean sheets. Again, it's a month-long break. I'll probably look at this a month later and be like, yeah, Cancelo's staying. He's got so much potential for points. It's just the last 2 weeks he's not been getting points. And Alisson there as well. I kind of just wanted a Liverpool defender, to be honest, and I didn't want to spend all the money on Trent. I could look at Robertson. I just think that they're a bit too expensive for how much they can offer. And Alisson is actually, I believe, either the second or third highest scoring goalkeeper in the game. He's not only getting clean sheets, but he's making a lot of saves too. So I think he can just get a lot of points, and I can just leave him in there for as long as possible. And I know a lot of people will just want to play Ward because he's got so many points, but Ward's fixtures straight after the break are really tough. I don't think that Leicester will be getting many clean sheets in those first 4 fixtures, I think it is. They might get one, but honestly, I'm looking to get a much better goalkeeper for those first 4 fixtures at least. Alisson will probably be in goal for most of those. But, you know, if I need to free up some money for any other position, then goalkeeper will be the first position I look at to free up funds. As you can see, there's Salah in the team, but he's not the captain. I definitely want to keep Salah. He'll have a long, lovely break over the international break. So, yeah, I think he'll be back strong. As I've said before, Martinelli probably won't stay in my team. I'll probably upgrade him to the likes of Saka. I definitely still want an Arsenal attacker somewhere. I just think that Saka offers more potential than Martinelli at the moment. I'd prefer to spend a little bit extra to get him in, and he's also on penalties, which is a huge plus. Almiron finally in the team. I cannot believe how he's gotten away with getting so many returns. He has single-handedly destroyed my rank over the last 4 weeks. So I can't be too mad at him though, because I really like the guy, and I think he deserves all this coming to him for how hard he's worked over the last 2 years at Newcastle. So I'm happy to have him in my team. He'll probably be staying in there before the deadline. He's very cheap. He's just a really nice 11th player, a 7th attacker. He's really nice to just slot in there. And then the front three, Haaland, Darwin and Jesus, looks incredibly strong. Again, Jesus is a bit of a maybe. He's just been a little bit off the boil for Arsenal. He's been playing very well, but in terms of getting FPL returns and goals, he's just not been it at the moment. Haaland, really nice to have him back in. It was terrifying going into last week without him. I prayed for a blank and it actually happened. So absolutely crazy that occurred. But he'll be getting a nice long break over the World Cup period. So I imagine he'll come back fit and firing. And Darwin definitely staying in my team still. I think he's becoming the player that Liverpool wanted him to be. He's really firing up top. Yes, he's kind of dampening the effect of Salah in some ways, but I think he will start to rack up the goals. Definitely not on the same level as Haaland, but I think he will. He has a lot of potential to finish as the second highest scorer in the Premier League. Maybe not catching Kane. I think he'll definitely be in the top 5. I'd probably put him third in terms of the Golden Boot. So yeah, I want him in the team. And then another strong defence, as you can see that I've got on the bench, Gabriel. That's purely because I had the money to just get Gabriel. I had 2 £4 million defenders, and I had a bit of money left in the bank, and I was like, who can I upgrade who can I get to? And Gabriel is probably my favourite pick from the Arsenal defence, given his attacking threat from corners. And I believe it's interesting because his points with Saliba have actually been fairly similar, but I think Gabriel's expected data is higher in terms of getting the points from like goals and such. But yeah, that's certainly a dilemma there. In terms of nailed players in this team, Haaland is nailed. Given if there's no injuries over the World Cup, this is. Haaland's nailed, Darwin is nailed, Salah is nailed, Trippier is nailed, Dallo is probably nailed. So that's 5 there. Almiron is probably quite nailed. I'd say that's my 6 players there. Rashford is a bit debatable. The fixtures are great, but I'll need to see if there's better options there. One of Martinelli or Jesus will definitely be going, potentially both, and getting in Saka. I'll have to see about that. Cancelo is very debatable at the moment, but I think he'll probably still be in my team. That Leeds fixture does look good, but Leeds do tend to score a goal, so I'm not too sure, not too confident about how many points I can get there. And Cancelo is very expensive, and if you have a cheap defence, you can make some really nice looking teams. And Alisson probably won't be in my team come the deadline. I'll probably look for a cheaper goalkeeper. There'll probably be someone who I want to try and get and need funds somewhere. Goalkeeper is always the first position to look to downgrade. And Raya has served me really well. I'm actually quite saddened to be parting with him, but the fixtures just don't look too good for Brighton. Maybe I should stick by him though. Should I be loyal to Raya? I've had him for the entire season so far. I think he's the only player in my whole squad that I've had since the start of the season. So maybe I should give him another chance, even though it is a game against Spurs, which I think they will likely score in. But they definitely held their own against Man City, so I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, I didn't want to make this bit too long. I feel like I've talked for quite a bit because it's, we've got a month break now. This will be the last I talk about it for an entire month, and it's onto the World Cup content for me. But yeah, let's have a look at who did the best in the mini league this week. So the highest score in the mini league for this week, Alex Kayabanu, another name that I'm probably butchering there in pronunciation. Warlock FC getting 71 points, a huge score from a relatively poor game week overall. A game week rank of just outside the top 100,000 as well. Very common that people get just outside the 100,000 in the top score for the mini league. So how did he get so many points? Well, that double Newcastle defence served him very well. Botman and Trippier both getting 7. He had Danny Ward in goal getting 11 points. And as you can see there, Captain Phil Foden must have just had something in his heart that said, let's slap it on Phil Foden. We got news that he was going to start, so yeah, maybe that was the logic behind it. But what a captaincy choice there. Darwin as well, a huge amount of points. Almiron getting 6 points, Martinez getting 6 points. Unfortunate from Zaha and Haaland there, not really getting the returns. Otherwise, this could have been a monster score. Zinchenko as well on the bench getting 7 points. Unfortunately, Perisic is before him on the bench. So it's 70 points on the pitch there, but Antony didn't play because he was injured. So he'll come off for Perisic's 1 point, giving him 71 overall. A really nice way to end to go into the start of the break, getting a huge score of 71 and a lovely green arrow for you there, Alex. So that wraps it up for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to the break in FPL. I'm sure once we've given a month away from it, we'll come back to it and feeling way more refreshed, or we'll get too sucked into the World Cup fantasy content. I know that probably most of you, I'd say about 10% of the viewers are probably going to play fantasy World Cup. But yeah, I reckon most of us will be having a break, kick back, relax, and just watch the football. And also tell me, is your home country playing in the World Cup? Because I've realised now, looking at my mini league, that not many of my supporters, not many of my watchers are actually English. I just assumed, being, Fantasy Premier League, that a lot of my viewers be English, but I've seen a lot of different countries in the mini league. So that's really nice to see. I'd love to hear what countries you're all from in the comments. And like I said, if your country is competing in the World Cup. I will be making Fantasy World Cup content. It's not going to be anything informational. It's not going to be who you should be selecting. It's just going to be me having a bit of fun. So yeah, please stay around to check out that video if you're interested in the World Cup fantasy game. But that's great. I've been FPL Meerkat, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.